Hey, what's up, folks? So, today's video, as you can see, how to speak confidently and how to be more confident in general. Now, I put out a lot of content, so it's easy to mistake me as somebody who has it all together, all right? I never want to be confused as a guru or anything like that. Like I said in a previous video, treat me as Home Depot, okay? I give you the tools. You decide what you do with them. Also, treat me as somebody who's in war. I hand you a sword, but I can't tell you if we're going to survive. All right, I can tell you what has worked for me. Okay, and that being said, I have suffered from severe anxiety disorder. I've been diagnosed with that. Took medicine for it. I don't anymore, just because I'm crazy and I wanted to just go at life without it. I've been bedridden for a month. At one point, I just got sick of myself, which led me to getting off of the pills, and I would have like seizures in my sleep, but it was mild seizures. So I got through it, and of course I know depression and all of these things. So if you would allow me to flesh this out, I put together like a little quick list, but it's kind of all over the place. Just allow me to assist you the best way I know how, and I'm telling you, you're definitely gonna get some great value from this. So like and subscribe. I gotta say this at the beginning now, because I'm just going to be adding nothing but quality content for the sake of your betterment. So without further ado, you have to establish who you are when nobody is around, okay? See, one thing that I found in my life, and I'm sure other people do it, probably even most people, is that they have a persona that's behind the scenes and then a persona, in public. And I understand, I'm not completely the same person, but I pretty much talk to everybody the same way. Everybody's going to get, this voice. They're going to get more or less, my essence. Now, everybody doesn't deserve all of you. That's true. And you have to reach a certain level of comfort to really give everybody everything. But you got to have a core. And you stick to that core no matter what, even if it's uncomfortable. And some of the things that I'm going to say in the future is going to wrap this all up. You'll be able to tie it all together. So the next thing is to build yourself up to start the day. All right. So if this is your first time listening to me, I'm big on morning routines. And so I'll start my day off with meditation, with exercising, with cold showers, and of course I'm practicing intermittent. I do practice intermittent fasting on and off, but that's not even what I meant to say. Semen retention. So I don't think I'll be able to help women with this one, but as far as the guys go, yes, semen retention does help with your confidence, as I said in many of my other videos. But I'm always going to have to bring that up because it helps. All right, it definitely helps. And masturbation, for whatever reason, I don't know what scientific reason it is, brings a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of insecurity, a lot of anxiety to people. So I have to address that, because that may be the one thing that's really hurting your confidence. So you want to build yourself up to start the day. When you're in meditation with your eyes closed, you visualize yourself as a powerful person. You say, yes, you do use your affirmations. Yes, you do take the time to practice optimism. Put yourself in a Superman pose, hands on your hips, straight up, your feet about shoulder length, and you stay like that for 10 minutes or so. Also, mirror gazing, since I'm big on that now and I've been speaking about it. Take this opportunity to look yourself in the eyes and build yourself up. All right? Nobody knows you like you know yourself, so make sure that you keep reaffirming who you are. That way other people can't dictate. You don't feel like you have to be what these people want you to be. All right? Because here's the thing. People may have a preference for who they would like to interact with, who they would like to see, when they look somebody in the eyes. And guess what? That preference is out there. But that person does not have to be you, okay? Even if it means you're going to lose your crush, your love, whatever it is, it's not worth compromising who you are, because you can lose yourself in others, okay? If you're gonna lose yourself within yourself as you find a newer version of yourself. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Um, so somewhere in here I said, talk about what you know. So if you're speaking with somebody, you only talk about what you know. If you don't know what the person's talking about, ask them questions. This is good. This is good right here. You ask them questions. People love talking more than they care to admit. All right. If you can get them talking for as long as the conversation goes, that's good on you. They'll start to build up a bit of trust for you. And you may be one of those people. I'm one of those people where people just they just seem to trust me. They can see it in my eyes. So they open up to me relatively quick. So if I get people to start talking, I don't need to say anything. Conversation well done. See, people think that in order to have a great conversation, you got to say all the clever things. You got to show how smart you are. But we humans, we aren't as advanced as we like to make ourselves out to be. And if one person can do all the goddamn talking and the listener is listening and nodding and all, the person who's talking say, great conversation. They won't even be taking the time to think about, like, hey, I didn't even get to know anything about this person. Not all the time, at least. So it's good. Speak less if you have to. I have this written down. Slow down the pace. Okay, so the mind is the horse. Your speech is the carriage. So you know which one you want to have in front. So you don't want to rush into a conversation. You don't want to rush to say anything. You want to present your best self. So take the time to listen. Respond to what you hear. It's like being a great interviewer. Just listen, and speak. If it's a question, ask a question. If you want to add to it, add to it. But you slow down the pace, okay? It's great practice, when you're alone, and then you get to, make these mistakes. You get to experiment with how you present yourself to the world. That's why I said you got to establish who you are before you even step out there. All right, so tell the truth. Don't give people what you think they want to hear, what you think they want to see. You don't want to have to keep up with this image. Trust me. You don't want to have to keep up with it. All right. You only want to keep up with the image that you would like to portray the most, and you stick with it. All right. A lot of people who I see who are the most confident, they talk to everybody the same way. I talk to everybody the same way. All right. So it's like, even if you aren't confident, you can practice things of the confident people. If you aren't happy, you can practice things of the happy people. So, like, I even talk to my grandma the same way. Now, granted, I got a grandma who just, profanity isn't a thing for her. It's like she fed me profanity as a child. So it's like I don't feel uncomfortable, using profanity around her. Although I've chilled out quite a bit. But just talk to everybody the same way. Okay, no assimilation, no trying to, I don't know. Like, it's weird because we try to put on this image for people we don't even know. And it's like, no. All right, this is what you're going to get. This won't change unless I decide that it's going to change. But I'm not going to change for the sake of you. You have to commit. All right, especially if you feel like there's nothing wrong with you. Now, if you're hiding a bunch of, toxicity, well, then, yeah, you do something about that, please. By all means. But for a great deal of us, our only problem is that we think we have to please other people. So you get in the mindset of, hey, look, I have to spend more time with me than anybody else. I have to face myself when I'm vulnerable, when I'm tired, when I'm upset, when I'm lost. This is what you're going to get. How many times have you been down and out and you looked around and it seemed like nobody else was around for you? All right? Nobody else. And the people who are truly down for you, they don't want you to change. All right? So keep that in mind. You have to keep that in mind. All right? Even if you get ostracized, even if they make fun of you, so what? Most people are followers. All right? Understand that. Deal with it. Most people are followers. And most people are looking for something to follow. All right? I hate to say this, but it's bravery in being yourself. So be yourself, even if it's uncomfortable, okay? I remember, and I gotta bring this up because as far as the LGBTQ community, I'm not bothered by that, of course, but I have to say this, because some gay men are like really flamboyant. So like when they're on the cusp of like coming out and being, just trying to find themselves. I have a cousin, a male who was he was young, but I guess he came out to some of his people, but like when he came around me, he wanted to act like not. You can tell when somebody's like not being themselves because they have to like catch up with the image and like just kind of like tone it down and I'm just gonna be one of the guys or whatever. Be yourself, my friend. If you are flamboyant, please be flamboyant, all right? If you want to be sassy, but whatever it is, please, by all means, commit to it. You have to commit to who you are. And if you don't know who you are, you need to keep finding ways to establish it. Or like I said, you are going to lose yourself in a pool of people. By the way, I'm sweating. But in a pool of people who don't even know who they are. And that's one thing that I didn't write down, but I was thinking about earlier. Is that we try so hard to please these basic ass people who have very little going for them, and they're playing the same game trying to fit themselves into a box knowing damn well they don't want to. Look, there's more out there, my friends. Show your essence, show your colors. In the end, it won't matter. It won't matter what people say about you, what people think about you, you know what I'm saying? But the more you show your essence, the more you show who you are, the more people will accept you for that. Now, you look at some of my videos, I stepped on this camera raw as hell. And like when I'm speaking on this camcorder, I guess it's called a camcorder. I'm showing my age. I'm 56, but I mean, my mustache looks terrible, and I keep telling myself I need to go fix it. But like, I'm raw, man. I don't groom for anything. I really don't, and I don't care, because nobody can really convince me that I need to. All right, and yes, I definitely didn't take certain jobs because of this. Yes, this is how I naturally look. This is what I'm gonna go with. All right, so yeah, I'll do some shaving in the future, but that's on me. That's on me, my friends. I like who I am. A lot of people who will try to tell you about yourself, they don't really like who they are, all right? So commit to who you are. Religion, the way you look, the way you act, the way you dress, the way you talk. Look, the way you express yourself is the way you express yourself. That's freedom. All right? So yeah, I said tell the truth. Yeah, show them who you really are. I mean, and that's it. That's it. To wrap this up, I remember getting a message when I was looking up on how to be confident, and this was years ago by what's his name, Big Brandon Carter, and he was talking about you build up confidence by being competent at things. So there you go. You stick to your hobbies. Spend less time in the outside world, just trying to keep up with the rest of the world, trying to keep up with the Kardashians, quite literally. Like, leave all of that alone and work on your own identity, okay? If you want to get better at something, you just keep working at it. You want to get better at speaking, then you just keep speaking. When I first put out my first video, it was basically my first video, speaking on semen retention. I didn't practice for it, and I don't have a lot of experience speaking in front of people or doing things like this. Well, I did do live videos on Facebook, so I guess that somewhat did help. But I spoke from the soul. I prepared myself for such situations. Now, preparation is obviously a must, I would say, in a lot of situations. So, if you got to go to an interview, just prepare yourself for that, okay? You don't want to go into something blindly, but you don't have to pull out at all stops. You don't have to make sure everything is perfect. Make sure you know everything you're going to say. And to ensure that you can get by doing these things, you slow down the pace, like I said. Slow it down. Okay? Take the time to make sure that you are saying everything that you need to say. If you're talking to somebody and you say, hold on, let me just get a couple seconds to gather my thoughts. I want to make sure that I don't miss a single thing. Then you do that, all right? Don't play your own game, go at your own pace, slow your roll. And this is how you build confidence. Now, if I sit back, because I probably missed something here, if I sit back and I think about something that I may have missed, then I'll double back. But I think this is a great start. Even if you're dealing with anxiety and you're shy and all that. I mean that's me. That's me, man, for real. No gimmicks, and no shows, man. Like that's truly who I am, or that's what I had to deal with for a great deal of my life. And ultimately, you have to sit down with a couple of things. You have to ask yourself, like, is my fear of this greater than the regret that I could have in the future? All right, so I talk about regret a lot because it's a big thing. A lot of us young people, we don't really sit down and think about the regret that we may have in the future. But once you start realizing how fast time goes, and you also search what the biggest regrets are, and then you start taking a look at how unhappy you are with your life and how it's been, and it really puts a little bit of disgust in you, a little bit of fire under your ass, that encourages you to push everybody else's opinion aside and let yours reign supreme. Because at the end of the day, no matter what I say to you, no matter what your mom, dad, anybody close to you will say to you, it comes down to you, and your happiness and your mental health should be put on a pedestal, like I said in one of my previous videos. Like, your mental health should be on a pedestal. All right? A lot of us are unhappy because we're afraid to put ourselves out there exactly as we truly are, to express ourselves in ways that's authentic to us, okay? And I'm speaking from experience, and I understand. I truly believe you apply these things that I'm talking about in this video, and it will help you, man. The only amount of pressure that's truly on you is the pressure that you put on yourself, all right? You are the one keeping score, all right? And so long as you in the game, you can win, all right? So, best wishes. Like and subscribe. If you have any questions, anything, man, reach out to me, because I do this so we can reach a greater deal of fulfillment. I believe in a better world. And that's it. Thank you.